Trump's got a trick to pull you out your subsidies, screw you over on your Social Security, screw you over on your veterans benefits, screw you over on Medicaid, and be able to screw you over on your tax money. You pay attention to everything I'm saying towards the end, because I'm going to be saying it all through this video and make you feel 1,000% better. Here's the deal that's happening right now. You think he's close to dead. You think he's close to dead getting out of this door with this Epstein file, but this is a wily son of a bitch, and we all know it. So what that means is that he could come around and pull off a miracle. And here's what I mean by that miracle. I'm going to break down what miracle looks like. He's between a rock, a hard place, and a grizzly bear and an edge. The only way he wins is if he jumps off the edge. And I don't mean commit suicide, but I do mean him jumping off the edge and doing something totally different than he normally would do. I'll explain that in a minute. So this rock, hard place, grizzly bear. The rock, hard place is Congress, him signing these papers, which he's going to sign the release of the Epstein files, and the grizzly bear is us. The thing is, he may have redacted already the information. I think we see that coming, right? If it ever happens. Or here's what may have happened. He may have told the DOJ, play the game with Bondi, and Bondi said, well, we can't release the Epstein files because we have an open case. That's what all the attorneys are like, oh, no. We know what you're doing with this open case BS. But there's even more to understand. If, in fact, he does that, what happens? Politically, it's going to be both the DOJ and Trump's ass. They're going to climb through him, pull out his heart CI beats, and him up. All right? That's going to happen. The pressure's going to pull. And when I say pressure, there have been times in the last 43 weeks. We've had 43 weeks of Trump. We got another 65 weeks, 165 weeks to go. But here's the thing I want all of you to know. We are winning. It doesn't feel like it. Feels like a Rocky movie where our eyes all beat up and feels like we're in a battle, but we're winning. How do we know we're winning? Because 70% of the cases in lower courts we've been winning. But Darren, the Supreme Court is doing this, that, and the other. Hey, do you realize this is how he's fucking with you? Listen to me carefully. You'll feel 1,000% better. This is how he's fucking with you. He's coming in to people on the left and right who don't know the history, operation, and laws of our government. What does that mean, Darren? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here's the thing. This guy comes in and breaks the law, and you think, how can he get away with it? He's getting away with it. No, he's getting away for it. It's coming, but it's taking time. And you say, well, Darren, I can't wait. This needs to happen now. I understand, but understand with this Epstein thing, there's a process to it that has to play out. And he only has one play. And the question is, can he overcome his ego to do this one play? Listen to what I'm saying now. Keep following me. So he's between the rock, the hard place, and the grizzly bear. He releases it. He has the redacted files. The grizzly bear comes out and says, fool, you know those aren't the files. He's been trying to do that. And guess what? Garcia's, the oversight committee's been catching him, and the victims' lawyers have been catching him. So there is a way to tell if he's sending bullshit, if he's redacting bullshit. Or he could say, well, the DOJ, we can't open the files, which is a stone-cold lie, because he's already gotten approval. He didn't even need to sign nothing. So what's going on? What is the real deal? If he does that politically, we win. Because not only are we going to come at him, but he's going to stink like old farts and fish 120 years old. He's going to smell and drag and bleed out the entire GOP for the next several years to come. It will haunt the fuck out of him, and it will never go away. Just like Watergate never went away. But he's got one little pull up his sleeve that we got to be prepared for, because the Democrats got beat this way 40 years ago. See, 40 years ago, man named not Donald Trump, man named Ronald Reagan. Not Donald, but Ronald. Ronald Reagan, the guy who came up with Make America Great Again that Donald Trump stole. He basically got in a lot of trouble over something called Iran-Contra. Iran-Contra whipped his ass. It was coming for him. He tried to hide it. This fool had a clandestine operation where he was taking guns from Iran to sell to the Contras, and he was financing it by selling drugs in black neighborhoods. No, it's proven. That wasn't made up. And got caught. It was against the law. And he pulled a move that if Donald Trump pulls, he'll be able to get past this. I know it sounds crazy, but when you think about it, who predicted a felon become a president? Who predicted a 34 felony sex crime guy would become a president again? Who predicted a president who cost 1 million lives to COVID would actually become president again? He scrapped all Obama's Ebola protocols to avoid the stuff that could have been avoided in COVID and basically killed 1 million people. Who would have predicted that? Nobody. He's been able to get away with shit before. Can he get away with this? If he does this one thing, but it will require to do something that he normally doesn't do, that Ronald Reagan even did. Here's what it is, and then I'll unpack the rest of this scenario I think is going to happen. It requires that this man put his ego to the side. I know you're like, he ain't going to do that. But if he does, he will be able to pull off what Ronald Reagan did, because Ronald Reagan should have been impeached and kicked out of office. But he wasn't. You know what he did? He got in front of a speech. First of all, he had a fall guy, Oliver North. And then on top of that, he came in and he said, I made a series of mistakes. Can you truly forgive me humbly? It was a brilliant master move. Messed the Democrats up, fucked them up. And everybody was like, damn, this motherfucker here. And he got away with it. And they didn't fuck with him no more. And he surpassed it. Can Donald Trump do that with pedophiles? Can he do that with the Epstein list? Can he get over his ego and do that? But you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, Darren, who's going to forgive him for that? Who's going to forgive him? First of all, his base. The only reason Congress that voted, the ones that weren't the majority that voted, were the ones because he said he was going to sign it. The other Congress stood against him. And are they going to say, okay, you gave him a promise and we're going to let it go? No, they're not going to do that. But I tell you what they're also not going to do. They're not going to remove him as president. They're not going to demand his ass. They're going to find a way to work with that man and say, okay, these things happen. Because so far he's done everything else and got away with it. The only thing in the way of him getting away with this is his ego. His ego could pull him down. And we're hoping that his ego pulls him down and it bleeds him out. But I want you to pay attention to the rest of this, how this develops. This man, if he's allowed to be in this office, will kill at least 50,000 Americans next year. How do we know? Because he's not going to sign the ACA bill. He just announced that. I'm not signing the ACA bill. No subsidies for you. Not until we get rid of Obamacare altogether. I'm not signing anything. Now, why in the world would he refuse to sign the ACA bill but say, yes, I'll sign the Epstein release files? There's something up. If he plays this with redacting information, he's going to get killed. If he plays this with the DOJ can't open a case, can't share an open case, he's going to get killed. But if he backs off and says, yes, here are all the files, here's everything, catch me with little girls, the whole night, here's everything, he may make it out of this. Honestly, this is the weirdest part. And again, you may disagree with me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But understand this. The craziest part about this insane, is that this is a felon, 34 sex crime convicted, kicked out, lost his business license out of New York convicted person. If he's caught with this, is it enough to get him removed? It should be. But who's going to remove him? Bondi ain't going to remove him. If he brings out the full picture. If he doesn't bring out the full picture, that's when all hell's going to break loose. And here's the part you've been waiting to hear. Hopefully you listen all the way through. I commend everybody who listened up until this point, because now you're going to hear the hottest part of this information. We're America. We leak shit. They can't keep shit secret. People already talking secret conversations he had with the Saudis years ago, back in 2018, about the killing of that journalist. And that was classified information. But they're leaking it. Those files are already out. It's just a matter of time. If he doesn't release the full files, we're going to find out the full files anyway. And if that happens, that's his ass. The only way he gets away with that, the only way, and this is what I mean, want you to be very understanding and slick about, understand the slickness of this. There are two sources that could be leaking this. The first source could be people in the intelligence community who already have it. Why would the intelligence community do it? They've been getting fired by the thousands. This fool fired CIA, FBI, everybody. The only person who fucked with the intelligence community like that was JFK. I ain't saying he's getting assassinated, nor am I hinting. I don't believe in the violence, because that would make him a martyr. We can't do that. But understand this, we can pull him down through Epstein if he doesn't, if he just doesn't do the opposite of what his ego tells him to do. If his ego says, no, I'm just going to deny, then he's dead. It's over. Politically dead, done. But if he's smart enough to say, the Gipper move, use Ron Reagan move, he could sidestep this. And I know it sounds horrible. I know many of you are mad at me when I even say it. But I'm telling you, it happened before, 40 years ago. It could happen again. I think his ego will lead the way. His ego will destroy him. It will destroy him. That's his kryptonite. The very thing that builds him destroys him. What I also want you to understand in this whole scenario is that this guy, if he's allowed to be in here longer, tens of thousands at the very least will die. Just through the ACA affordable care subsidies, not to mention the Medicaid, not to mention veterans benefits, Social Security. He will destroy people. What we're banking on is his ego not letting those files go, but they're going to get leaked anyway. So there are people in the intelligence community by the thousands who either took the buyout, are retired, or work in the private sector. I talk about this in my Clarity group. I got a live unrecorded thing I'm doing with the Clarity group tonight. And yeah, I'm going to talk about some deep stuff off the record. What I also want you to understand too is this. And my Clarity group's in the description on the homepage. So you can check it out if you want. If not, cool. If it's open. Here's the thing. I want you to understand. This is the second thing that can happen. This is what I'm going to discuss later on tonight off the record too in my group. Do you know that Donald Trump, a master move would be if Donald Trump and his people leaked it their damn selves. First, they redacted it. Then they tried to get the DOJ to avoid it. So now the grizzly bear's really coming at him. And someone leaks it. But it leaks from him. By his permission. And whatever leaks, he claims it was the Democrats who somehow edited that information, and it's not true. And since it's unofficial, there's no way he could confirm it because he won't believe it and claims to the right that it was lies. And they set this up. You know how fake news is. So now it's out there. But the people who do believe and do support it can go with it. But since it wasn't officially let go, it's unofficial leaked stuff. Even if it's confirmed by the oversight or by the victim's attorneys, he can always claim suspect. He can claim suspect. Does that get him out of trouble? Maybe. But does it mean that he's gonna lose his job? Maybe. It puts him in a strong maybe category. Whether he leaks it or the intelligence community leaks it, it becomes a strong category. It becomes him a little less into the maybe and more into the safety zone if he just says, listen, those are not the files. I don't believe they are. It's brought up by the Democrats, but I want to apologize. There are things that I've done that were wrong. I never claimed to be the biggest, most honest person. That's who I am. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is wrong the way they did this. And this is all wrong. And I want all of America to forgive me for any wrongs I've done. But these are the wrong things they did. They doubled down and made it even worse. If he does that, I swear to you, listen, if you're new to my channel, look 7 months back. I've been predicting everything. If he pulls that shit, he pulls that Gipper move, people are going to let him walk through that. And you can fight all you want to, but the reality is the leverage, the likelihood of him doing that is unlikely. But the likelihood of it working is very likely. Listen to what I just said. Because if he is able to pull this bullshit off, but the thing that won't let him do it is his ego. His ego, baby. His ego will destroy him every single time, and that's why he's losing now. But, again, he's got a side note. He's got a sidestep. He can pull this off if he's clever enough to realize that he must do what he normally doesn't do. It's the old Einstein saying, to go where you haven't been before, you got to do what you haven't done before. He's willing. He wins. Possibly. A better chance of winning. But if he's not, he loses. And the clever thing would be is if he leaked it, saying it wasn't true while trying to redact it and get the DOJ to block it, or the intelligence community leaked it on him and he knew about it. That plays into him too. Especially if he comes with the humble pie hat in hand type mode. Facts. Facts. What we have to do is be aware of this option. Because I don't want all of you to be surprised and outraged. I hope I'm wrong on his... I hope that he doesn't choose the option that I just mentioned that he's likely to win on, because it's highly unlikely that he would do it because of his ego. And I hope that he, because of his ego, bleeds out this way where he fights back and it all comes out. Because if he just releases the info, if he just leaks the information while trying to redact, or the DOJ or someone else like the intelligence community leaks it, or he actually releases the files and says, fuck it, I did it. That's going to work in his advantage. Every step he does to fight, every step you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. It'll be worse for him. But he's been so willing, right? So we're waiting for, okay, redaction, okay, it ain't going to be the full files. And if it isn't, it's just going to haunt him and pull down the whole GOP. And he might want to do that. Again, his ego. But what do you think? Is it going to be ego? Or is he going to be so smart that he's going to play it off, let it all happen, let it all work out? Can he get away with that shit? If there's anybody ever in the history of politics in America, it's him. Look at his past record. There's no way in the world this man supposed to be president. And yeah, you know what was stolen. But we're talking about YouTube, who gave $25 million to Donald Trump. So every time I talk about the you-know-what being stolen, guess what? I get limited or held back or blah. I ain't going to talk about that. Don't say it in the comments. Leave it alone. I'm not trying to get all lit up over that with YouTube. YouTube and their feelings. And oh, guess what? It's their platform, their house. That's why I have a private clarity group. It's like the way I can talk the way I want to over there. Jeez. But I will say this. I want you to grasp this. Regardless of what's going to happen, thy will be done. Thy will be done. Even if he gets away with it, he doesn't get away with it. It's going to haunt him and hurt him. It's just the least amount of hurt would happen if he plays along with it, or if somebody leaked it, whether it be his side or he just let the files out. That would be, if he did, in addition to the files that's coming out, either way, anyway, one of those three ways, and he admits and apologizes, he got a chance. I hate to say it. The Gipper got away with straight up illegality. Remember what I just said. Illegal guns from a terrorist over to Contras to fight in Nicaragua for American freedom, which never worked out, that was financed by selling drugs to black people in America. It's true. That's not a conspiracy. Truth. That's the United States government in proof. And the Gipper never went to jail. Didn't spend a day in jail, not a day in trouble, no impeachment. And he smiled right there. I mean, Gipper came back. He didn't come back with with lies and aggressive. He came back and said, "I hope you can forgive me. Please forgive my trifling soul." If Trump did that, it would fuck people up. I'm just praying that his instinct not to do that would actually help destroy him and bleed him out and bleed out the whole GOP. Hey, what do you think? Leave me a comment and watch my next video. Watch the next video.